All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today we're gonna ask a big question, which is, can you slow down your biological aging after getting sober? But first, if you haven't yet, don't forget to show your support for everybody here in this sobriety community by giving this video a thumbs up. And if you care about your own sobriety journey as much as we do, we have over 600 videos on the topics of sobriety and self-improvement. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. All right, let's get started. Now you're gonna wanna make sure to stick around until the end of the video because I'm gonna share a link with you on how you can check the difference between your biological age and your chronological age. And I'll also go over the instructions on what you'll need to do for free. To help you find that section of the video in the future, I'm gonna put this in the bottom of the screen so that you can find it again later in the future, so that way you can share it with your friends. Because personally, I hate when YouTubers bait you into watching a whole video, but then don't tell you where that information is. So you're welcome. Now let's get to today's topic. According to a Northwestern medicine study, scientists found that consuming certain types of alcohol over long periods of time, as well as binge drinking, both speed up biological aging. In case you're wondering what's the difference between your chronological age and your biological or phenotypic age, your chronological age is just how old you are right now. Pretty simple. Your biological age, in contrast, is basically how old your cells appear to be, or basically how old your body seems to be compared to your actual age. Now, we all age differently based on our lifestyle, stress, drug use, alcohol use, genetics, etc. So if you're 50 years old, ideally you want your biological age to be at least the same or ideally younger. Think about it like this. It's kind of like if you had a 20-year-old car, but it only had 20,000 miles on it. That's pretty good. Having really low miles on an older vehicle would be a best case scenario, and one could expect to get more years and more miles out of that particular vehicle. Another great factor to consider with regard to your personal vehicle's mileage are those city miles with a lot of stop and go and constant stress on its engine? Or are these mostly highway miles while riding smoothly with your cruise control on? I want you to stop and think about this car analogy for a moment as it relates to how hard you've been on your body. What kind of lifestyle do you live? Considering your alcohol use, your tobacco use, your sugar intake, refined carbohydrates, drugs, regular exercise, or a lack thereof. Comment down below. Would you say that your body has more city miles or more highway miles? Would you say that you've been doing a good job with your body's daily maintenance requirements? Or would you say that you could certainly use a tune-up? Just like your car needs regular oil changes, new spark plugs, regular service intervals, air filter changes, not to mention car washes and cleaning out the interior from time to time, every single one of us could make better decisions instead of worse decisions on a daily basis. From the fuel that we put into our bodies, from all the contaminants that we've acquired over all the miles that we've put onto our bodies, every single one of us could use a little bit more rest and a little bit less stress. Get more exercise, eat healthier, and be more mindful of what we consume, such as what we listen to, what we watch, and also too what we eat, drink, and what we breathe. Nothing's gonna influence our chronological age other than time. But all the time in between, the choices that we make every day directly influence whether or not we have a younger or older biological age. And unlike our cars that can't self-heal, our bodies are arguably the most incredible vehicles to navigate through time and space. But some of us have been treating our bodies like some old rusted out $2,000 used car just to get from point A to point B. Like we mentioned in our last video, alcohol ages your brain. It damages your DNA. It weakens your immune system and leads to a higher risk of cancer and other diseases. So sobriety, just like making other healthier lifestyle changes, will also increase our longevity. We know that eating better foods increases our longevity, that staying well hydrated increases our longevity. We know that staying away from fried foods, vegetable oils, and seed oils also increases our longevity. We know that cutting down on stress, our tobacco use, and drug use increases our longevity. And if I had to guess, a lot of these things might be on your New Year's resolution list this year. Every year, people around the world make a long list of future goals that their future self has to be tasked with, which can be overwhelming come January 1st. But every year, we all make the mistake of not putting any of those daily tasks into practice now. If your goal is to get sober on New Year's Day, Would you bet on the version of you who waited until New Year's Day to get sober, who's most likely gonna wake up hungover from having went out and drank heavily the night before on New Year's Eve? Or would you bet on the version of you who got a head start now and tapered off slowly leading up to New Year's Day? And maybe for you, it's not getting sober from alcohol. Maybe it's weed or pills or smoking, vaping, or cutting out fast food or sweets or junk food. Every year I make videos encouraging those of you out there who want to get sober to start your New Year's resolution by practicing Sober October, then carrying that practice into No Drink November, and then again, practicing going into Dry December. This is the time of the year when we're thinking about spending time with family, giving gifts, and getting presents. And as I always like to remind you, one of the best presents is to be present. Feel free to write that one down. One of the best parts of this community is hearing from those of you out there who've been inspired to change your lives and who've been actively putting in the work. I know that life gets in the way and you don't feel great every day, and it's colder now and it's darker and you may find it harder to be and stay motivated. I get it. I've been there. But that's part of the point of getting sober, to stop depending on your external environment, to have a more bright and sunny internal disposition. If you're anything like me, you drank out of boredom, or you drank to socialize, you drank to feel better, and you drank to escape. And another goal of sobriety is to work on making your life so good that you don't want to escape it. Here's another one: to become a person that you actually want to hang out with. A lot of us drank because we wanted to escape from ourselves, from our lives, from our responsibilities. Because you woke up one day a decade older than you wanted to be, but maybe also too, you felt like you were a decade behind where you thought that you should be in life. A lot of us want to get sober to stop living in fear, to stop being depressed, stop being anxious, and to stop continuing to lack self-confidence because you stopped believing that anything could actually change. So for those of you out there who are interested in getting sober or just making better lifestyle changes by cutting back on your alcohol use, start practicing today to gain confidence for tomorrow. There's no better feeling than waking up that first day sober, knowing that you finally broke the chain of nightly binge drinking. To wake up proud of yourself. You may be waking up grumpy, or maybe still anxious and maybe scared because you don't know what to do next. But the good news is we have a video for that. 10 proven ways to prepare for sobriety. You have to know that you are both the boss and the employee of the company of you. I'm going to say that again. You are both the boss and the employee of the company of you. And the key to success in anything that you want to do is when you start acting like you're both on the same team. All it takes is effort and practice to stop procrastinating. And what do we always say about practice? Practice makes progress. The years are going to continue to fly by faster and faster, and we're going to continue to get chronologically older. But that doesn't mean that we can't start making better decisions today to reverse the damage of yesterday. So like we talked about in the beginning of this video, there's actually a way to measure and find out what your biological age is compared to your current chronological age. You may remember that video that we referenced earlier, 10 ways to prepare for sobriety. In that video, we talked about the importance of visiting your doctor before getting sober, and then again a few months after getting sober. So for those of you out there who are interested in self-improvement, which is all of us, right? We get to see the immediate improvements of getting sober, such as lowering your blood pressure or maybe a better quality of sleep. In that video, we also mentioned the importance of getting your blood lab results from your doctor, because you can compare your blood lab results from prior to getting sober and then again a few months later after getting sober. Personally, I recommend that you wait at least 6 months before getting your next round of blood lab results. And when you get those new blood lab results, you just plug those numbers into this website, which actually calculates your biological age, which is also referred to as your phenotypic age. They measure these 9 biomarkers that you see on the screen. And a quick note, some labs may be less thorough than others, like mine. So in my case, I had to do a little Googling to properly fill in my own report, because some of my names on my lab results didn't translate to the same words on my test. So here's a quick look at my personal results from my blood labs after just 2 years of sobriety. My phenotypic age, aka my biological age, is 32.15 years old, compared to my chronological age at the time. I was 40.67 years old, which is a difference of being biologically 8.5 years younger, which, considering that I drank heavily for almost 20 years and I also smoked cigarettes for 15 years, I could definitely say that I'm very pleased with my results. And for those of you out there that already have access to your recent blood lab results in your MyChart or with your doctor, I'll put a link in the video description so that you could take the test online yourself for free. You're welcome. Also, I'll put it up on the screen right now if you want to write it down real quick, so that way you can tell a friend. It's bioagecalculator.agelessrx.com. I'm going to say that again for those of you who might just be listening to this video and not actually watching. It's bioagecalculator.agelessrx.com. Now, for those of you who have done the biological age test already or who want to do it right now, I would love for you to post your results in the comment section down below, along with how long that you've been sober, or vice versa if you're not sober yet and you want to post your results before getting sober. So if you do that, maybe include in your comments something like, I've been a daily binge drinker for 20 years, I'm 40, and my biological age according to this test is fill in the blank. Or on the flip side, you could say, I've been sober for 3 years, I'm 40, and my biological age is 32 or whatever it is. Got it? Because the more we know, the more that we can be inspired to do more and to be more. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And regardless if you do the test or not, we always love hearing from you. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. But for those of you that are ready to binge watch another one of our videos, click the link in the top corner of the screen. And with that, I want to wish you good luck on your self-improvement journey, and I will see you in the next video.
If you want to see another one of our videos, click here.